TIFU by asking a guy if he loved me while we were having sex. Background: I met this super cute guy on Tinder a few months ago. We aren't a couple, but I have feelings for him. Also, we have ridiculously incredible sexual chemistry. I hadn't seen him in about a month and a half as I had been traveling for work. So he comes over today. One thing leads to another and we're in my bed. I'd say that we are both pretty vocal during the deed. There's a lot of moaning and hyping each other up. So he's saying things like, "I love how you feel," and "You're beautiful," and I am hitting him back with, "You are so sexy," and "You feel amazing." The scene of the fuck-up. So he's on top. I have my legs pretzeling him. My hands are cupping his neck and he is kind of doing the same. He says, "Look at me." So I do. And in my mind I am like I should say something dirty because we are staring into each other's souls and it's ridiculously sexy. Big mistake. For the record. He kept saying things like, "I love how you feel," or whatever, and so I was going with the same grammatical construction. And so I am staring him dead in the eye, as he is basically leg-locked inside of me, and I tried to ask, "Do you love fucking me?" Except it came out as, "Do you fucking love me?" Skull and crossbones, 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 to which I realize what I just said and start frantically trying to explain that it's not what I meant to say. And it's definitely not a subconscious slip because obviously I don't love him, but I do like him. Bless his heart, that he just sort of laughed it off and went back to work. If he ever wants to see me again, I'll be surprised. Oh, okay, so my girl can call me daddy and I get turned on, but I call her mommy and I am weird? SMHIDK whether to put a/s cause. It's true. Why can't I have mommy issues while being able to be a man xd edit? Goddamn, this is a very TMI comment. Fuck it, I said it. Fight me. Alright, look. I think that anything said while naked should be void after clothes are on. The brain just goes into instinct mode and suppresses the part of our brain that actually does logic, shame and all that. I mean, thinking about shit I have said while puttin' the old bangers and beans into mashed potatoes just makes me wince. Better than mine. Break up. Spend V-Day together anyway. Have first time. She says we're still broken up. Her mom brings me and her friend to the movie, so I'm sitting there upset the whole time. Until my dad can pick me up cause it was a long distance thing and we lived an hour apart. Reminds me of when I was hanging out with some friends in high school. I was a shy geek with no idea how to talk to women like normal people. So this girl is hanging with us and someone convinced her to take her shirt off. She was all about it and pointing them out the window having a laugh. We all were. So anyway, my dumb ass casually says, "Hey, you're alright. Wanna get married?" And I meant it jokingly, honestly. But yay record scratch, and my buddy driving is like, "Dude, don't told a woman I loved her within like 5 minutes of meeting her once." It wasn't even a date, she had just sat next to me on a bus and we'd struck up conversation. I just meant that she was super cool as we shared many interests, but it came out, "Dude, I fucking love you." I'm sure I was actively trying to edit the sentence and shove my words back in my mouth immediately. Embarrassing, but we laughed it off. Coming up on 10 years of marriage to her now. Mine is cringe. 4 people playing amateur poker. A guy lost to me 2 times. Even though he was a pro, beginner's luck I'd say. A person in the group asks why is he letting me win, and I blurt out cause he's in love with me. IDK why I said that. We all shrugged it off and continued playing, but it was really awkward between the guy and me, as the least to say. Fuck. I can never recover from it. I still remember when I met a girl at a party one year. I remember exactly what she was wearing, where she was standing and how she smiled when I saw her. I remember taking to her and telling her I'm going to marry her one day. We are currently married for almost 10 years with 3 children, and I couldn't be happier and still remember that exact moment in time. My husband and I met when we were 13. We dated, I say that because we were 13, for a while, and then I moved. My dad's job had us relocating every couple of years. We stayed really good friends and I would visit him and he would visit me. Anyway, he told me at 13 that he was going to marry me, told me again at 18. My mom told me I was going to marry him when we were 13. I thought they were both crazy. As far as boys at the time and men when we were older go, he was the bee's knees, but I was a wild spirit and the thought of meeting the guy the first was going to marry at 13 was terrifying. Anyway, he moved from Ohio to where I am. We got married when we were 24. Just celebrated our 10-year. Looking back on it, I was crazy about him. but I was in a dysfunctional and abusive relationship for a long time that corrupted the way love looks to me. At that time, love was calling every hour to check in so my now ex didn't get mad, and not hanging out with guy friends at all so he didn't get jealous and explode, etc. When my husband and I finally got together, he was so incredibly patient in helping me unfuck my head from my abusive relationship. But he knew at 13. Which is crazy still to me. Started dating this girl and we were hanging out. Joking and teasing each other, and I meant to say, "You love it," but I definitely said, "You love me." We are also approaching 10 years of marriage here soon. We used to joke about that all the time. Me saying the L word on like our second time hanging out together. I also tried to be smooth and kiss her but said, "What would happen if I kissed you?" I really lucked out that she stuck around. A guy did the same to me once. Had a few dates and one time he was like, "I fucking love you." We've been dating a year now. Cute. Met a guy once and for our second date he said he loved me. I asked him as he was sure and maybe if he needed some time to understand his feelings. He apologized. But we ended being a couple that very same day. Been together 2 years and counting. Met this girl through the family. Mind you think I was maybe 8, she would have been 6? I remember it because my mother drilled it into my head. I told her as a kid I loved her as she was a tomboy and didn't care about getting dirty like the other girls. Mom overheard and laughed, and so did her father. February of next year we will be married 20 years smiley face. The number of people I've known who insist they only have casual sex but end up in tears over the person is staggering. People really do be out here repressing their emotions to seem cooler. Like, note how Op starts by saying after months with this guy she's developed feelings, then chronicles how she had a Freudian slip mid-sex that brought those feelings up, but still made sure to qualify everything with "Obviously I'm not in love with him. I'm not some loser who gets emotionally close to the people they fuck." One of the first times I had sex with my girlfriend of 7 years she asked me if I loved her cock. I didn't even hear it because I was so into her vagina. Yeah, us dudes aren't really listening anyway, but even if we were it wouldn't matter much. The sensation is 1,000 times more important than words. The exact same slip-up happened with me, except I didn't say it, my FWB did. I laughed it off, probably a little too hard, lol, but he swore up and down he didn't mean it and we continued seeing each other casually. I even had a comment about it get a few thousand upvotes on an AskReddit post about awkward things said during sex. Anyway, turns out he did catch feelings and I gave him a chance and we've been together for almost 3 years. I dated a girl who liked to do ecstasy while having sex. She would do all kinds of stupid crap like that and then avoid me for days afterward. Then she would come over and apologize and we would do it again. It was really kind of funny, and sad. I had a girl with some serious self-esteem issues. We would hook up, then once she was not excited anymore she would be disgusted that I had sex with someone like her. It didn't last long to say the least, rolling on the floor laughing 25+ years ago. It was a thing in the US. Then it became more socially acceptable for women to have a FWB and label him as such. That's the point, it turned into a mindfuck more than just fucking. You're both living sex dolls and are concerned that saying something could cause you to lose the benefits. Since it's casual, it's more likely that either partner has multiple FWB partners. Dating has become a clusterfuck, and not in a good way. A former colleague came to the US for a multi-year project from Ireland. He was disgusted by it. He claimed that in Ireland, you picked up a girl at a pub, went out a time or two, and were in a de facto relationship. You didn't see anyone else. When you tired of one another or decided it wasn't going to work, you split and wash, rinse, repeat. Also from the EU and very confused by the post and replies. Also how she'll be surprised if he ever calls her again. Is saying, "I love you," the most embarrassing thing you can say to someone you are already intimate with in the US. Seems very strange to me. In high school my Algebra 2 teacher was walking up to scold me for talking or some shit. So before he could get a word out, I just looked him in the eye and said I love you. Totally caught him off guard. He replied with, "Everyone needs to be loved." And everybody kinda giggled. We'll never forget the look he had on his face though. Yeah. From some sort of biological perspective this exactly how humans are supposed to work. Sex is supposed to trigger a strong emotion so that in case there is a child, the couple is more likely to stay together and share responsibility. Apologizing for that is sort of like a boy apologizing for a boner when making out with a girl. Sorry for being a fully functional human being. A simple, haha, oops, is enough.